Hello again. I'm James Goy Jr., and we are continuing on with our discussion of the subjects of the various chapters of my book, How to Attract Money Using Mind Power. And we have discussed the subjects of the first 4 chapters thus far, and today we will discuss briefly the subject of Chapter 5, which I call Money Goals. Any student of mind power or metaphysics knows the supreme importance of setting goals for their life, for their lives, whether they be financial goals or any other kind of goals. And indeed, anyone who is a student of human achievement or human history must recognize the importance of goals and goal setting in any kind of advancement that human beings make. Human beings make, whether it be, again, financial, political, musical, business, or whatever. When you set a goal, you choose between the many options available to you of what you could set your mind to, and you focus your mind on a specific outcome that you would like to bring about. The power of the human mind is an awesome force which must be guided to bring about the desired results that a person wants to attain in their lives. Because if the mind is not corralled, controlled, and directed in this way, it will find or be led down other paths which very often are not advantageous to the individual possessing that mind. In other words, not advantageous meaning that the mind will be set on outcomes that the individual does not want, that the individual will not enjoy, that will not be good, productive, or beneficial to the individual. The way the mechanism of the subconscious mind works is that it creates based on the thoughts and feelings and images which we hold in our mind. And the power of setting goals is that you consciously determine exactly what outcomes you want to come about. And therefore you set the awesome power of your subconscious mind loose at work throughout the material world about you to set things in order so that the outcomes that you have foreseen, desired, and envisioned can come about for you. Without determining in advance what it is you want and being specific about it, then obviously, you're going to get something else than you would have gotten. The nature of a goal itself is that it is very specific. And the human mind, the subconscious mind, the universal mind, the universe as a whole works so much more powerfully when it is directed more specifically. And the level of the specificity dictates the power. And you can liken it to a magnifying glass. The sun shines on all of the leaves or on a piece of paper and does nothing. But when the sun's rays are transferred through and focused through a magnifying glass, of course, we all know what happens. The leaf or the piece of paper soon has a hole burned in it, like a laser. And that is the power of the human mind. That is the power of the human subconscious mind when it is directed in that specific way. So when we talk about financial goals, or what I call money goals, that means determining specific amounts of money that you want, either as income or a particular net worth, or even individual business deals, or how you want things to go. You are very, very specific. And the nature of a goal is also that it has a time limit or a deadline set to it. Now people ask, well, what if I don't hit my deadline, or I tried that and it didn't work? Well, you will not reach all goals that you set with deadlines by those deadlines. There's very many reasons why you don't. Sometimes your own higher self intervenes because it's not the best thing for you at the time. Sometimes your subconscious mind just needs more time. Mind power is one thing, but we are using our mind power through the substance of the physical material world, and that requires a lot of energy to do, and it also requires that certain prerequisites and modes of operation be adhered to, which is, dollar bills don't just fall out of the sky. They have to come from somewhere, through other people, through other channels. And sometimes your subconscious mind may have been able to determine a certain goal for you, but or achieve a certain goal for you, but it would not have been in the best way. And so again, we always trust the wisdom of our higher selves, of the universe, of the God force, or whatever you want to call the divine energy that oversees and sees further than we do, and is working with us in conjunction with what we set it to do by our thoughts and feelings. So oftentimes your goals will be achieved, and in the time frames you set. Sometimes they won't be. This is, if you haven't heard this before, then you'll be surprised at the simplicity of it. But one of the most powerful things you can do in relationship to a money goal, or any goal indeed, is to write that goal down. And many self-help teachers and gurus and things of this nature talk about the power of writing things down. There's different theories on why it's so powerful and why it works so well, but no one seems to disagree that it does in fact work. If you write down your goal, you have intensified the strength of that goal by 10 times or more. I remember many moons ago, they had the EST training, if you ever heard of that. A couple of long, intensive weekends with some Wednesdays in between. And I remember, this was like 30 years ago or something, and I went through the training, and during that training, they had us write down in a notebook things we wanted to do, like goals, and I had jotted a lot of things down. And I found that notebook about a year later in the boxes of stuff in my house, and I started looking through it, and I was so amazed, whether it was quitting smoking, taking up a certain new line of profession, some monetary things I had in there. Almost everything, except for a couple of the really big things or whatever, had come true after just 1 year, without me giving any more thought to it, with me having actually forgotten that I had written them down in that notebook. So write your goals down. In my book, How to Attract Money Using Mind Power by James Goy Jr., that's me, I will give you, some specific things and lists you can make and all of that. The bottom line is, for right now, suffice it to say, goals work. Money goals specifically work for attracting specifically money. And if you are not using the awesome power of goals, then you're really missing out. So set some money goals. If you're not quite sure what to do, see you next time.